Speaking of boatloads of cash, Tim Cook fires back at Jony Ive report, claims new Apple products will blow you away. That's Tim Cook right there. You're about to be blown away, Will. You weren't ready for that.
I'm not prepared.
The Apple CEO wrote a letter to NBC claiming that a negative Wall Street Journal story on Jony Ive's departure is not true. He is mad. Tim Cook is angry, Will, because Jony Ive, his departure, much publicized. We talked about it. The Wall Street Journal report states, hey, he wasn't too happy. It says Jony was upset that Tim didn't care about the design of products in the same way that Steve Jobs did, that he never visited the design department, that he cared only about money. Sound like a bad relationship, Will. And, of course, that's terrible press for Apple, terrible press for Tim. So he writes an email to NBC and says, I want you to get my side of it out there. None of this is right. You don't know anything. Our team is talented with or without Jony, and me and Jony love each other. And I was in the design studio every day. Well, he didn't say that part. But look, we speculated on this stuff prior to this response from Tim. We speculated on this that there was a special relationship between Jony Ive and Steve Jobs. We speculated that they had a special relationship, synergy between one another, that, Steve could dream up the human need, what people were looking for, what technology should do for them, and then Jony would make it so, exist in the real world. There was a thing there. You can see, look at Jony hasn't looked like that. Will's showing a picture of Jony with Steve. He hasn't looked like that in years. You see him now at the Mac Pro event? Bring up a picture of him at the Mac Pro event. He's like, get me out of here, please. I got to get out of here. I got to retire or something. I mean, he does not have that smile anymore. I'm telling you right now. You got to look at the latest Mac Pro event, the cheese grater Mac Pro event. You'll see he's kind of subdued. He's less into it. And this is, like I said in the previous, when I talked about Jony leaving, I was like, man, these are people at the end of the day. They're companies with a badge, but they're people making these things for you to potentially buy or not buy. And their inspiration level affects what you end up with. And so the rumor was that he had been showing up less. Also reported in the Wall Street Journal, there was a big beef over the Apple Watch, apparently. He wanted to go one direction with it. The business guys didn't. They wanted to go in another direction. He saw it more as a fashion accessory. They saw it more as a phone on your wrist. And anyway, it's a Wall Street Journal report. Take from it what you will. But the fact that it elicited a response from Tim Cook is the story to me. Is that if it reached out that far, if he jumped in here to put his 2 cents in, for me, Will, that's an indication of some truth, not actually the opposite. For me, the fact that it made it through and the fact that it elicited the response in the first place says there might be something to it. Mm-hmm. The fact that it bothered him that much, that the story came out. But it's not much of a secret that Steve was a product guy, and the origin of Tim Cook's career there was on the manufacturing side, on the efficiency side. He's got an engineering background, I believe, as well, something like that. So two different guys, two different companies because of it. And now I'm not going down to the rabbit hole of Apple is dead without Steve Jobs. They're not. They're just different. And I think most people can agree to that. They're different without Steve Jobs. They're different now without Jony Ive. No doubt about it. But Tim ain't happy. He says the best products are ahead of them, as you would if you were the CEO of a company. Imagine he came out and said, yeah, you're right. Johnny's gone. We're dead. Imagine that. What would the shareholders do with that, Will?
Yeah, totally tanked, but
imagine I came in here, Will,
business.
And I said to you, our best years are behind us.
Oh.
I said, everything we're going to make from this standpoint forward, from this moment here, garbage compared to what we've done. Does that seem inspiring to you?
No, not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. So he has to say
depressing.
what he said. He has to say what he said. But Jony Ive's departure, make no mistake. You know who like to say that, Jack? Make no mistake. It's your boy. Conor McGregor. Make no mistake. Irish accent? Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. What is that, English? That's too English. Make no mistake. Mine always goes English, you know? There's no Irish accent in here for whatever reason. But Conor will say, make no mistake, I promise you. And you should make no mistake about this. I don't think Apple is better for Ive leaving. I've seen that headline around. I don't think that's the case. The guy was talented. I don't see a point in disputing that. And him not being there and being inspired, and yes, you need fresh blood. You need new outlooks. But I think it's a signal of what's happening internally at that company and them becoming more of a services brand and so on. And so I think people are right to really run their analysis on this and what it says about where Apple is at now and where they came from. Anyhow, Tim Cook, not too happy.